Good morning. Hey, I'm recording this on a Thursday night. It's about 5:15, and I've had another great and productive day, and I've strung a bunch of these things together, and this has become suddenly I've just become someone that gets a lot of things done, and it's not by accident. And I wanted to talk to you about how that's happening. A few weeks ago, I think I mentioned this maybe in one of the recent sales tips. I wrote a book. I wrote a book called The 25 Best Sales Tips Ever. Here's the manuscript right here. 25 Best Sales Tips Ever. There you go. I just completed another huge project just right now. It's a long story, but one of my daughters asked if I could create some work for her girlfriend, Alex. And I said, yeah, sure. I've got this idea for a lead generation service that I've been kicking around for years. Really, I've known about this idea, and I got thinking about it. Then it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a huge project. Well, guess what? I completed it. Whoops. I completed it, and I did so. There we go. And I did so because of one thing. In both cases, I found an accountability buddy. So let me back up. So back in May, I am in Tucson, and I'm at a conference, and I'm catching up with an old friend. Conferences are fun. They're like camp. You know, I just got back from Print 17. And you see these people once a year, and you're like, oh my God, how are you? What have you been up to? What are the kids up to? Call me, email me, just like camp, right? So I saw my friend Catherine, and we got talking, and I said, she said, what do you got coming up? And I said, I think I got a book in me. I've really been thinking that I've got this done. She said, really, I've got a book too in my head and heart. And so we got talking about that, and I said, tell you what, let's hold each other accountable. So as the summer went on, we would choose a date. She would commit to specific actions. I would commit to specific actions. We'd write them down, and we'd have a date and a time. Like July 3rd at 5 o'clock, for example, which was a Monday, we had a quick conversation. I was on Martha's Vineyard or something, I think, and we had a quick conversation, and I said, okay, so this is what you told me we're going to do by today. Did you get it done, yes or no? And then she quizzed me. And so we would just leapfrog. Okay, that got done. Now what's the next step? And then bam, bam, bam. And sometimes it was like, we'll talk in 3 days. And sometimes it was, we'll talk in 3 weeks. And then at the end of August, I just cranked it out. I said, I'm going to get this thing done. And I started really driving forward. I had the momentum. I felt I had the time, because the weeks before Labor Day I think are really slow. And I had the time, and I got it done. And then came along, and then I said, all right, I'm going to put this thing down. And one of my commitments was I'm going to get 25 of these things made into a manuscript, and I'm going to send them out to people, colleagues, people that I want to have review. And that's where we are right now in the review process. Next, we're going to take another step. In fact, there's going to be 3 versions of that, so we're not done. And so then came the lead generation. So I said, okay, I'm going to put that down. Then I picked up the lead generation file, and I said, okay, what needs to happen? And again, I said, I need an accountability buddy. So I contacted my nephew. My nephew, Scott. My brother has 3 boys. His middle son, Scott, is my godson. He's also my webmaster and a very, very talented kid, and kid, 32, listen to me, an entrepreneur. And I had lunch with him. And I said, you work alone. I'm going back onto my own. Let's hold each other accountable. What is it you want to get done? And we talked about time management. We talked about, I gave him some instruction. And he said, okay, I'm going to commit to this. And I said, okay, here are my commitments. So now we've started another accountability cycle. And this is how things are getting done. And again, I've had this streak of events and weeks where I've just accomplished these major goals. Now, I mentioned to you that I'm recording this on a Thursday night because Scott and I talk at 10 o'clock on Friday mornings. I've got his list of the things that he's committed to. And one of the things that I committed to was get this lead generation service done and ready for market. And that's where we're at. So I got a little bit more work to do tomorrow before 10 o'clock. And I've got my list here of things that have to get done. It's not a small list, but still, I've accomplished it. And what I'm trying to tell you is that all of us have things in us, big things, little things that we want to get done. And all of us are wasting time. And we're getting caught in something else that's fun, something else that it needs to get done. And we look and we say, it's 5:15, I still didn't get it done. I'm telling you, get an accountability buddy. Find somebody in your circle, and there's everyone, everywhere has things that they want to get done, whether it's personal Or like one of the things I said was to Scott last week, I want to go for a walk 5 times this week. I did 3, unfortunately. I'm going to go for a walk right after this. I got a great book I'm listening to, and that's one of the other things. I listen to all my books on Audible, and so I'm going to take off and do that. But so I didn't accomplish everything. You know, I still fall short on some stuff. But you've got people in your life that are waiting for you to come along and say, you know, let's hold each other accountable. And then what you do is you just pick a date in the future, and you say it can be a week, it can be 2 weeks, it can be a month. What are the 3 things that you're going to get accomplished? And then you write them down, you commit to them, and you're committing to this other person, okay? This is between me and you, because you will let me down if you don't hold yourself, if you don't get those things accomplished. And I'll be all over you to make certain that they get done. And that's how it works. Very simple, and it's free. And I encourage you to try it. And that's the tip for this week. I'm certain that there are dozens of things that you want to get done. What are the top 3? What are the things that you really want to accomplish? Now, go find yourself an accountability buddy, set those goals, and just leapfrog step after step, and you'll get it done. You got a book in you? This is how you're going to write it. You got a program in you, got an idea, you want to research some big fish. What do you want to accomplish in your life? Find an accountability buddy, and you will get it done. Okay, that's it. Now it's 5:23, and I'm going for a walk, because if I'm going to fall short, it's only going to be falling short by just a little bit. Thanks. Have a great selling week. I'll talk to you next week.